Welcome, I'm David.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Desmonds Donders. Hello, and welcome to Wednesday Waffle. Lindsay will be taking the first rant, and then I will follow, with a little bit more light-hearted. Lindsay is still very upset about the events that she noted over the weekend.
This is really getting to be too much. Let me turn the camera around if I can. I don't know. When we were sitting in the van this morning, I saw somebody put up a tweet by Loch Lomond and the Trossachs page. People have been camping out on the loch side, tents, ice boxes, cool boxes, call them what you want, and all the other paraphernalia that you take with you when you go camping. And you guessed it, they left it. They left everything. Now, Loch Lomond and the Trossachs brought in the rules that between certain months of the year, mainly when it's warm, that you weren't allowed to take your motorhomes. You can, as long as you park them in the places provided, but you need the permits. You pay for the permit to be entitled to park there. And so do these people for their wild camping, or maybe they didn't, but they left everything. And it just makes my blood boil to think that people are, one, so stupid, two, so selfish, and three, so inconsiderate as to not consider other people's pleasure after they've been for their 1 night, 2 nights. I don't know how old these people are. I'm not even gonna guess, because I know every generation has its inconsiderate idiots, but at the minute I think there's more idiots than there is normal people. Could you imagine what this place would look like if everybody just abandoned their tents and their sleeping bags and their rubbish and all the other paraphernalia that they take with them that they think they need for a weekend's holiday? Wake up, people. We're in the middle of a financial crisis. Nobody's got money to burn, and yet these people are buying tents and coal boxes and sleeping bags and everything else, and then instead of taking them home and using them again, they're leaving them where they set up their camp. I mean, come off it, people. It's got to stop. Somebody's got to stand up and say, enough is enough. I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up, but there's tiny little fish in there louping out the water trying to catch the fish. It won't be me. I say my piece and then I don't say anything for ages, but what I saw this morning just broke my heart. I lived round that area. I lived round Loch Lomond. I went to primary school round Loch Lomond. I would never, ever consider leaving rubbish behind. I always pick up other people's, and I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of humanity. I'm sick of what they're doing to each other, and I'm sick of everything. It's just, this world's gone to shit and nobody seems to care. Well, I got a news flash for you people. This is the only planet we've got, and if we don't start looking after it, it's not going to be able to look after us. So, if you don't agree with me, I don't care. I really don't.
Before moving on, I want to tell you a joke. Okay, it's not really a joke, but I find it funny. You may or may not have heard the joke about the retention board were asking the various branches of the armed forces, what would they do if they found a scorpion in their tent? Well, the army jumped, said, and well, we'd trample it and chuck it out back into the desert whence it came. The Navy said we'd step on it, crush it, and throw it out into the desert whence it came. And the Air Force representative said I'd phone room service and ask what there was a tent doing in my room. Now, that brings us to the topic for today. And I was asked about hotels I'd stayed in. And I thought I'd tell you a little tale about hotels. Mainly about the worst one we've slept in. But I'm not going to name it. But we have, or I have, in my time in the Air Force, stayed in all sorts of hotels. Sometimes hotels, sometimes accommodation on base with our American friends. Now, my best hotel, I would say, was actually post Air Force and in Norway, where I was put up at the Radisson in Bergen. Lovely place, nice and handy for everything and for getting to work. I've stayed in all sorts of accommodation in the States, in the Air Force, where they've put us up in hotels, but they've been your run-of-the-mill hotels, nothing spectacular, nothing special. I've stayed in really nice hotels in the Air Force, for Sicily, in Catania, when the Americans couldn't put us up at Sigonella. Yeah, but the worst hotel I've ever stayed in was in Kilmarnock. We were going to a function there with other people sharing a car, so we were kind of stuck as the other people had to be there. And we arrived at the hotel, couldn't find anybody in reception, walked into the bar. It had the kind of carpet that you sink into, not the lovely kind though, your feet sink into and stick. We went back into reception and eventually managed to find somebody to check us in, and it was getting late, we had to get changed and go to the function. So we went up to the room, things didn't get much better. The carpet was the same. Got into the room, the carpet in there was similar. The curtains didn't quite fit the windows. The bed couldn't have been lower if they'd raised the floor. They couldn't have lowered the bed anymore. So we'd check out the bathroom. It looked clean, appeared clean, until you noticed that those glasses in the cellophane wraps that shows the cleaned glasses had fingerprints on them. Yeah, could have been worse, I suppose. We did stay because we had this function to go to, but we were out of there early in the morning. We managed to cross the bar, which, although it had been open all night for the local populace, didn't feel any worse than it had in the afternoon previously. It was an awful place. So when everybody asks you why you go away on your motorhome rather than stay in hotels, etc., yeah, one of the reasons. And the other reasons could be, apart from cleanliness, which you've discussed. How sure are you that that bed linen's been changed? Just saying. Just saying. Now, this hasn't gone on too long. There'll be some drone footage and some music which might take away your mind from the next time you've got to stay in a hotel. Thank you for watching Desmonds Donders. And remember, please take nothing but memories and leave nothing but tracks. Please subscribe and ring the bell for notifications, and hopefully we'll see you next time.